Back. Welcome back to another one of these streams where today we will be breaking down UFC Abu Dhabi, one of the best fight nights we've seen in God knows how long. This is super refreshing, and bangers all over. Let me turn this music off. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We already got some people. We got UPI.
What is up?
Morning. Getting ready, G. Ready, G. It's 12 in the morning here where I am, but this guy Rohan's in fucking.
I am in Hong Kong, everybody. Man, oh my gosh, it is hot. No, let me tell you. So I'm here. I come here quite often to visit my grandparents, my mom's side of the family. It is hot as a bitch right now. I'm sweating my ass off. Like throughout the day, it's humid as hell. But if you guys don't know, 12-hour difference. So basically, it's 12:25 a.m. for Lucas. It's 12:25 p.m. for me. But yeah, I'm just ready to talk some fights. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching the card, unfortunately, at 3 a.m. local time. So it's the start of the main card, bro. So it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good, to say the least. So yeah, that's going to be a little tough, but I am definitely excited because, like you said, one of the best fight nights that we've seen in a long time. Thank you, UFC, for finally putting together a worthy fight night. UFC Abu Dhabi, I am very excited.
The streets want to see your view. What's your view looking like right now outside the way? Let's see the outside.
They want to see the view. I mean, I posted a little earlier on my Instagram, but this is really the view I got right here. Damn. It's pretty nice. It's really not the best though. Like once you get into the town and the city itself, like the views get a lot better. But yeah, it's not so bad for where I'm staying at.
Damn fucking right. We got a bunch of comments here. Getting ready for Saturday boxing and UFC. Yeah, that boxing fight is gonna be sick. Terrence Crawford returning, first time in like a year. I think he fucking his opponent. Need to bounce back this week from last week's fail in my parlays. Last week we actually hit one of our parlays in the parlay.
Bro,
that was sick.
My DraftKings is locked. I couldn't even place that shit, bro.
Both of us?
Well, it's not locked. So I set like a monthly restriction on how much I could deposit because I was going over the shit. I was going overboard sometimes. I was like, all right, let me stop, let me chill. So I set a limit and I realized, all right, I was trying to go a little heavier for UFC and I couldn't even get the money in my account. So I was glad that we hit that thing though. But like we said, moving forward, tune into those parlays because we really putting in the research. You can see it in real time. We're sitting there studying the lines, looking at the books, and we're coming out with some good, parlays in the end. So it was worth it.
Damn. Fucking right. It was definitely worth it. That second parlay, not even the safe one, the second one, like plus 2,000.
Yeah, the safe-ish, right?
Yeah, even UPI, his parlay missed as well. Molly screwed a lot of people. Molly screwed one of my parlays. I had her in a parlay with
me too.
But we still profited 9 units at UFC 304. It was a huge night. And then TJ saying Corey needs to win. He may need to win, but I'll give you a sneak peek. I don't think he wins. But yeah, I don't see why we don't just get into this. I feel like we should. I am on Google Chrome now. I'm trying to start using it more. So
gotcha.
JT, tomorrow is August 1st. No, today is August 1st. Today is August. We're already here, August 1st.
It is August. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Let's pull up the fight card. Give me one sec. Tell me if this works. So many ads on Tapology. All of a sudden, they're fucking.
I know. They're the worst with that shit.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can. I can see it crystal clear.
Ads, dude. Like we got WWE, all this shit. Whatever. Okay, here we go. UFC, Abu Dhabi. Looking forward to break it down. As always, if you guys have any questions about these fights, drop them in the comments. Already did a short video this week about Nurmagomedov and Oleksiejczuk that is getting a tremendous amount of hate. Probably the most hate on a video outside Volkanovski and Topuria, but it's all good.
We're gonna get into it a little later, but I don't know, man. That was a bold take again with the Shara bullet.
Yeah, we will get into it later. For now, let's start. First fight of the card. We have. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Cedric Dumas taking on Dennis Talunin. Very, very low level fight. If we're being completely honest here, Rohan. I have a tough time with this fight. I do. I think on the feet, it's very close. Honestly, I may slightly favor Talunin on the feet just because, the cardio and the pressure. But, excuse me, I feel like Dumas could definitely get takedowns here. And thing about my guy Talunin is he's been subbed 4 times. And one thing about Dumas is he's got some nasty submissions. We saw where did we see it? On his Contender Series fight. Nasty guillotine. Honestly, I'm going to predict Dumas to get this one done by submission, whether it's a guillotine or something else. I think he's pretty crafty on the mat. And Tulunin getting up there in age. How old is he? Yeah, 36. Took absolutely brutal loss to Gregory Rodriguez with that elbow to the back of the head. And I don't think that's doing him any favors. So, yeah, I like my boy Cedric to win by submission. That's my take this week. But then again, it's very low level. If Tulunin was to win and beat the thug that is Cedric Dumas, I would not. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one. First fight of the card, I do have Cedric Dumas winning. I just think Dennis Tululian is not UFC caliber. I mean, he's 36 years old. I mean, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. He's looked awful in each one of those losses. And I mean, in looking at the tape, I just think Cedric Dumas probably has every physical advantage in this fight. I think, you know, the mental part of things is where it gets a little tricky because he does not have the highest fight IQ. He tends to do some stupid things in there sometimes, but you could say the same about his opponent, number one. And I just think when you're looking at just the physical stature of both of these men, Cedric Dumas is the bigger man by a big, you know, comfortable margin. I'd say he's going to look a lot bigger in there. He's got a big power advantage in this fight, I think, especially at Tululian's age. He's looking at like 36 years old now. I think his power is probably gone a bit. Dumas, and like you said, on the mat, he's probably better. He's the better wrestler. He's the better grappler. We've seen him pull off some submissions, some slick submissions on the ground. I just think he's a better, more complete martial artist. And this is, again, a low-level fight, but that's saying a lot when it's a low-level fight and you can still see the clear advantages on one side. I think Tululian is just not built for the UFC. So I got to agree with you. I think Cedric Dumas wins a pretty high-octane fight, and I think he gets a finish as well.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this fight for that long. But one thing I do want to say is, and I was thinking about making a short video about this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time because there's 2 other videos I do want to drop that are already recorded. But the UFC, what they're doing for the very first time is they're giving out an award during the card. It's kind of like Walter Payton Man of the Year, but instead it's like the UFC's version. I forgot the name of it, but it's like pretty
like
much
a community assist type thing.
Community kind of guy. Okay. And it's come down to 2 finalists, and they're both on this card, Dumas and Nurmagomedov. So I'm really excited to see who gets the award. The Streets of wins. Yeah, I'm really looking forward. It's gonna be great. Who do you think is gonna win that award? I think it's pretty close.
They're both such, like, you know how Ariel Helwani uses that word mensch? They're both such mensches. You know, they're just great people. They do so much for the community. You can see them just always wanting to give back. There's obviously so much footage out there of them just being so kind to their people around them. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to call. I don't know. I'm going to say Shara. I think you look at the footage, man, and you just see a good guy all around, like a well-rounded, heartwarming guy. So I'd say he's going to win it.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's tough because, you know, Nurmagomedov was caught on camera doing some pretty shitty things. I mean, some amazing things for his community. But at the same time, I mean, the police, man, they have taken Dumas into custody to, you know, just work with other prisoners and teach them life over like 15 times. So he's a guy that the cops really like to bring in to, you know, teach their prisoners how to go about life and how to really make it. And I don't know. I think I'm going to have to give it to Dumas, but we will see who the UFC decides to give their version of the Walter Payton Man of the Year award to. Should be very interesting. Let's move on. Next fight on the card. We've got Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. Yeah, Shara, he hugged that guy in the train station. It was in the mall. Exactly. In the mall. But yeah, he just a wonderful act of kindness. And by the way,
such a good guy.
MJP Godlife. What up? What's going on, MJP? And TJ saying, I agree. Shar ain't top 15. We'll get into that in a little bit. This fight between Jai Herbert and Bedoya, I'm going to just say it right now. I took a small shot when Bedoya was sitting at like plus 150, I think. I mean, I had to. I mean, Bedoya dropping down to what seems to be his regular weight class, his normal weight class, which is 155. His 2 UFC fights have been at 170. Now he's at 155. You could see in those 170 fights, like he just didn't look, to be in shape. Like there was still on his body. Now it looks like he's got abs. He's taken his career seriously. And one thing about this guy is he has a really good chin and he has great cardio and he will pressure you. And that's something you want to bet on in a fighter. And at plus 150, although I think Jai Herbert is significantly more talented, he's gotten knocked out brutally a few times. And I think Bedoya is definitely live here. Pick-wise, I really think this is 50-50. It's going to be the volume of Bedoya versus the moments of Herbert. But betting-wise, I had to take a stab at Bedoya at plus money just because I think that cardio upside and just the overall dog upside, whether you're looking at the betting line or the fighting itself, it's all over Bedoya.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do definitely see what you're talking about as far as the value on the Bedoya side. He is a dog, and you're looking at the footage 2-3 years ago when he's fighting, on the regional scene, and he really does look a little out of shape. He doesn't really look like he's taking his career all that serious, putting in all the effort necessary to get to where he wants to be. Now at this stage, he does look like he's starting to put things together a little bit. But Jai Herbert, I mean, he's somebody that people were pretty high on, coming into the UFC off of Cage Warriors. He had a really nice run, beat some nice names on the regional scene, and then worked his way up. But then he lost to some tough competition. When we're looking at his losses, like the Faraziem one, that doesn't look the best. I get that. But the Ilia Topuria loss, like that's aged tremendously. Obviously, he's the champ now, and he did actually have some moments early in that first round. We remember he hurt Ilia, and then the Renato Moicano loss. Obviously, Renato is a seasoned veteran. Like that's not the worst loss in the world. So Jai Herbert is very tough, but it all comes down to his durability and his endurance in the fight. I do think those attributes are on the Bedoya side. So when it comes down to pure talent, I think that Herbert has the edge, and he is the better striker. I think this fight will play out on the feet. I think if anybody is to take it to the ground, it would be Bedoya, but I do think it stays on the feet. And Herbert is, just like you said, the more talented striker. He's got more weapons in the arsenal. He can pull out some tricky, attacks to just catch his opponent off guard when they least expect it. I think those are the moments that will win him this fight, and I do see him getting his hand raised. So I'm going to side with Jai Herbert.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of people picking Herbert, but I just think the value is on Bedoya here. Let's move on. We got Take Camino in the chat. Fuck yeah. Best time of the night when the boys are live breaking down some fights.
Yes,
couldn't
sir.
agree more. Maybe biased, but I couldn't agree more. Let's move on. Next fight on the card. How many fights are on this card, by the way? 13. Okay, pretty solid. Victoria Dudikova versus Sam Hughes. Again, this is another talent versus dog kind of situation. I mean, you got Dudikova, who is, I think, is the more talented fighter. She's looked pretty good in all of her UFC fights. But then again, Sam Hughes is someone that will fight for your money, who's got great cardio, who sticks to a game plan. What are you going to side with? I don't think I'm going to take the dog shot here on Sam Hughes. I'm still thinking about it. I mean, the line's not really moving, so I've got some time. But Dudikova, I feel like a lot of people are willing to take that dog shot because of her last fight against Jin Frey, in which, she didn't look the best. That was like kind of a competitive fight, which isn't a good look. But she did say after the fight that she had staph infection, and that definitely plays an effect on your fighting, your overall just physical ability as well. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Dudikova. I just think she's more talented, better everywhere. Cardio didn't even look horrible while she had staph infection. I think she should be able to get this one done. Just better striker, has the takedowns. But then again, Sam Hughes, man, she's going to fight to a game plan. She's going to fight to your money. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the line ends up on Saturday. I may take a shot on Hughes, but for now, I'm going to pick Dudikova.
I don't know, man. I tend to side with Sam Hughes, and it's just because, like, obviously you look at her record and the way she fights and just who she is as a fighter. Nothing is impressive about Sam Hughes. I definitely am not trying to make that case, but I just, like you said, she is the type that is going to come forward no matter what and implement her style, which is just a rough and tumble, take you down, grind up against the fence, just try to control with pressure. And she does have success against those girls that really don't have the best defensive wrestling. And I think that is the case with Victoria Dudikova. I like her striking tremendous. She has good striking actually for women's MMA. She's a really fast, calculated striker on the feet. She can hurt Sam Hughes, but Sam Hughes really, like, when have we seen her, get pieced up like that to the point? Like, she is going to come forward even in the face of a lot of heat coming back at her. Like, she is not afraid to come forward. I think that she's going to have a lot of success in winning those minutes at a time with pressure and with control against the fence. I think she's going to score a few takedowns in this fight as well. And I don't know. I like that dog shot on what are the odds for this one? Who's the dog? I'm not even looking.
Dudakova's like minus 170. Hughes like plus
Oh,
145.
minus 170. Yeah, I don't mind that. Like, I'm not gonna lobby for Sam Hughes to be some lock of the card or anything like that. But I do think that she has a very, very clear path to victory. It's to close the distance, take away Victoria Dudakova's longer, rangier weapons, and turn this fight into an ugly one, win it down the stretch. And I think she can definitely do that. So I'm gonna pick her.
Yeah, I agree. Don't really have anything else to say about that. Let's move on. Next fight on the card, we have a fight that I'm actually really looking forward to. One of my favorite fights on the card. Guram Kudrdaladze taking on Jordan Vucenic. I'm gonna pick the dog in Vucenic. Guram just looked so bad in that fight against Elvis Brenner. I know Elvis Brenner's really good, but he just didn't look the same as he did in those Ismagulov fights and in the Gamrot fight. He just didn't look the same, man. Guy's only getting older. Yeah, he's 33, which seems to be his physical prime, but I feel like he's one of those fighters that that peak early in their mid 20s and start to slow down around this time. Vucenic is only getting better. This guy has fought really good competition on the regionals. I mean, this guy, if you're like a hardcore MMA fan, you know Jordan Vucenic. He's been a Cage Warriors champion. He fought Paul Hughes. He fought Morgan Sherry. I believe he beat.
Yeah,
Sherry.
He beat him. He beat him. He
beat him. Yeah, he did beat him. That was a great win. He fought Paul Hughes twice. He went 1-1 there. I feel like Vucenic will be able to fight to a game plan here. Yeah, he is stepping in on short notice, but the guy's really talented. He really is, man. I think he'll be able to mix in the takedowns with his strikes. And I just think he's the younger fighter here. And I think he's in his prime, man. I think Vucenic is really good. And yeah, the line really doesn't make too much sense to me. I'm going to pick him to win this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I can't believe I'm going with another underdog, but you laid it out perfectly. I think like he is incredibly skilled and he's just hitting his prime now. It's kind of weird that the UFC chose this moment to bring him into the promotion, because like you said, he's been on the cusp of making it for a while now, but to bring him in now against like somebody like Kudrdaladze, who's very talented on the feet, seems like an odd decision because Vucenic has a pretty bright future, I'd say. He could be a pretty legit contender in the UFC. Like he is very, very tough. Well-rounded. He can implement offensive grappling, fight going forward and back out of both stances. That's what I love about him so much. Obviously, it's a tough opponent. Like Kudrdaladze is very, very dynamic. That's the thing. Like he's fast, accurate. He attacks the body. He mixes up his targets beautifully. But Vucenic, I think he loves those leg kicks. I think that could be a big weapon of his. And down the stretch, like you said, Kudrdaladze didn't look all that great against Elvis Brenner, somebody that does grow into a fight. And I think like Vucenic taking this fight on short notice is probably the main reason that he's this big of an underdog. I don't think that would be the case otherwise. If you're just looking at the fighters for who they are, looking at the tape, they're very similar in skill. And I think that Vucenic might even be better at this point in their career. So I do trust him down the stretch. And I think that he will be able to eat a lot of shots because I do think both guys will get hit. That's the thing. This is going to be a fight where both guys are landing a lot of shots. But down the stretch, I trust Vucenic to be able to maybe get some takedowns, wear on him a little bit, and win a decision. So I'm going to pick him.
And folks, last time Rohan and I were both on a dog like this, Jake Hadley, last week.
Yo,
easy.
We were very confident with that. I think that was a great read from both of us. Because again, it's kind of the same situation. The only reason Hadley was such a big underdog is because he's coming in on what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks notice. Like if that's not the case and you're just looking at him coming up and for the fighters that they are, I think it's a good pick. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, we're gonna go the dog here, big dog in Jordan Vucenic, Cage Warriors champ. I think he's got a bright future. Let's move on. Next fight on the card, we've got another fight that this fight kind of sucks, but like for betting purposes, I am looking forward to it. Shamil Ghazi versus Dontel Mays. I think Shamil's a great parlay piece this week. I really do. Yeah, he's not the best fighter. Yeah, he got destroyed by Rosenstrike in his last fight. But this is one of the biggest step downs of all time, going from Rosenstrike to fucking Dontel Mays. I think Shamil's going to pick this guy apart. I think it's going to look similar to the whatchamacallit. What am I thinking? Oh, to the Shamil Budai fight. I think Mays is a little bit better. I think he may survive a little bit longer, but Shamil, I think his hands he's got some good hands. He can mix in takedowns here as well. I think, it's low-level heavyweight MMA, which is tough to parlay up, but I think this is a mismatch.
Agreed, bro. As soon as these guys face off, watch everybody that was on Dontel Mays, back out of that, because the size advantage in this fight is going to be tremendously in favor of Shamil Gaziev. This guy is huge. He was huge against Rosenstrike. The only reason he won lost is because obviously he has no cardio and he's not the most skilled guy. He's a plodding heavyweight, a fatter heavyweight, typical. But Dontel Mays, I mean, this guy is short for the division. He's a little compact in size. Like, he can swing some bombs, but he's not really throwing with a lot of volume at all. Shamil Gaziev is going to be the one coming forward with more shots, more power. The wrestling, like you said, is on his side. I don't know what the hell this matchmaking is, to be honest. I guess give Dontel Mays a little shot, and he does have a puncher's chance. He does, but like really, he doesn't. So I do agree. Shamil Gaziev is a great parlay piece. I do love his money line this week as well.
Yeah, Dontel Mays really just hasn't done anything in his career. I mean, I felt like he lost to Kaya. Remember, I had a bet on Kaya Machado in his last fight at plus money. I thought Machado won. And Machado really sucks in his own right. I thought Machado won the fight against Dontel Mays. Dontel Mays is just I don't know, like, I don't get how he's only 32, which is, young or young for a heavyweight. Like, this guy fights like he's 41, 42. Like,
yeah,
he actually is. Yeah, I like Shamil. He's got some solid boxing, man, when he's able to put it together. You saw in that finishing sequence against Boudet. It was a great finishing sequence, and then he went from looking like a future heavyweight, maybe contender, to just getting beat up by Jairzinho. But I think this is a nice bounce back spot for him, 100%. Let's move on. Next fight on the card, Muhammad Yahya versus Cauê Fernandes. Low level lightweight fight, very low level. But I will say this: Cauê Fernandes about a week ago was sitting at minus 170, and I got a almost 2-unit bet on him at that number, and now he's like minus 400. That's all I really got to say. I mean, I still feel like he's a parlay. I still feel like he's a safe parlay piece. And by the way, all the Discord members got that minus 170 number as well, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. All you got to do, DM us Abu Dhabi, and you can get 50% off our UFC bets. But yeah, we got that Cauê Fernandes money line at minus 170. He's now fucking way past that, minus 400, minus 450, I think. Honestly, I still feel like you could parlay this dude up. Muhammad Yahya is so bad. Like, how do you lose a 15-minute fight to Trevor Peek? Trevor Peek's known for just getting you with that one shot. He like actually got out controlled and just like out MMA'd by Trevor Peek. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yahya just sucks. He fucking sucks.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know. Fernandes should win this with ease. I mean, he had a kind of rough debut against Diakise. But this guy was I believe, an LFA champ before, had some cool knockouts. He's not the best in his own right, but definitely good enough to beat Muhammad Yahya.
I mean, I really don't have much to add here. The only reason Muhammad Yahya is on this card is because he fought in UAE Warriors and is from this exact location where this card is taking place. That's the only reason. He lost to Trevor Peek. He looked horrible. His only wins on the regional scene have come up against garbage competition. He's just not a good fighter. You watch him in there, he's just, it kind of looks lost in there sometimes. And I just think Cauê, however you pronounce his first name, Fernandes, he's a more put together fighter. Like, he just does everything with a little more intent, a little more conviction. He'll get the job done. If he doesn't, I'd be shocked. I will definitely say. I mean, obviously the crowd is going to be rooting for Yahya, but it's a prelim and ain't anybody going to be there anyway. So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, it is Abu Dhabi.
And great job with the value as well. Like you said, minus 170, that value in the Discord, man. My man Lucas is all over that shit. So join up.
You know it. As I always say here, just betting on the fights, Saturday nights, it's probably the biggest part of the Discord, right? But not only that, but we get ahead of these lines like sometimes a month or two before the fights and just beat the lines, and it's ridiculous. And then you can get to a point where you can cash out and make a significant amount of money before the fights even start. And not only that, Rohan's in there providing fucking essays of fight breakdowns. So it's the best value in the game for MMA betting. And last week, it paid off 9 units in profit, and we're going to look to continue the trend. On this card, UFC Abu Dhabi, another one that I'm pretty confident in. Speaking of confident, well, not really. I'm not really confident in this fight. Alonzo Menafield versus Azamat Murzakanov. I mean, skill for skill, this is Murzakanov. I feel like he's the better fighter. We don't see him too often, but I just feel like, Menafield looked horrible in that last fight against Oberg. It was incredibly stupid. But here's the thing, Menafield, if he lands on Murzakanov, it's game over. And Mirzakhanov leaves his head to be hit, man. He really does. You look at that. I believe it was, what fight did he get like rocked in? One of his most recent fights. He got hurt. Was it the Jacoby fight? It was. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a year and 3 months, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was gonna say the
He's
layoff.
good, dude. He's good. I like watching him fight. But yeah, I think he did get hurt in that Jacoby fight. I don't know. I just feel like if Menifield does land, it could be night. And I feel like that's definitely possible. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm curious what's the line. Like, yeah, I'd consider a plus 180 on Bovada. Like I'd definitely think about that. I think Menifield can knock this dude out for sure. We got my boy Cheebles. What's popping? Fuck it. I'll just outright pick Menifield here. I think he can catch him. Skill for skill, it's Mirzakhanov. He's gonna win the minutes, and he's got power in his own right. But dude, that chin's a problem. Bad striking defense. Menifield not the best in his own right, as I said, but I think he can find one here, Rohan. I really do.
I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely tough because it's like we're talking about his chin and he hasn't even suffered a knockout loss. But yet, like you said, he has been rocked by some guys who aren't really known for their power, like Jacoby. So it's a little worrying. But I don't know, man. Menifield, he looked like he had CTE in his last fight where he just charged in at Carlos Ulberg with no regard whatsoever for his power and got slept in 12 seconds, I think it was. Like that, I think he's definitely going to have that in the back of his mind as he's entering this fight. There's no way he can rush in there with any sort of caution to the wind approach like that. He has to be a little more subtle, a little more calm in there. And I think he is going to take his time in there. And I think he, like you said, the value plus 180 is definitely there. But looking at Mirzakhanov, man, he does so well to keep opponents away. I think that the side kicks that he throws, the deep kicks, the leg kicks, he's such a more versatile fighter. And I mean, he hasn't been knocked out. So it's like Menifield was just clocked in his last fight. So, I mean, the durability, I'm not too worried about it. I do think skill for skill, he's a better fighter. And I trust, Menifield's 36 now. I don't know how old Mirzakhanov is. He's 35. Okay, so not that much of a difference. But yeah, I think he's a better skill for skill fighter. And I love the way his striking looks, man. It's just very put together. And he knows how to just keep opponents at bay. So I think that'll definitely help him in a 3-round fight. So I'm going to pick Mirzakhanov.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fight in which I'm considering like an under 2.5 or like a fight ends by knockout. I do feel like, as you mentioned, there are some chin issues on the Menifield side as well. I do feel like
it's Ulberg's power, though. That's the thing. Like, Ulberg's power is very slept on, and he's not even close
to still, you're right. Like, he's going to be thinking about it, dude. He just got brutally knocked out.
He is going to be thinking. He's got to be thinking about it. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm going to say someone gets knocked out, and I'll say Menifield does hand Mirzakhanov his first loss. And let's be real. Like, it says Mirzakhanov is 35. Dude, this guy's like 55.
Yeah, he looks so oh my God. I don't know. I was surprised, actually. That's wild. Ain't no way.
Let's move on here to a very, very good fight. Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. This is one I've been going back and forth.
Yeah, me too.
Back and forth with for a minute now. Oh, this is tough, dude. This is tough. Because Brenner's a dog. He's a dog. He is a dog. Again, this is one that's like skill for skill. Give me Alvarez. But Alvarez, like, if we're being real, he has not looked that good in his last 2 fights. Got fucking dominated by Sarukian, finished, which, is not a horrible look. But yeah, he got that submission against Diakisi, but there was like some sort of controversy in that one. Am I not mistaken?
I don't know. I actually didn't watch that back. I was more looking at the Moises fight. I watched that one. I did watch the Sarukian one, and I was watching a few of his earlier performances. I didn't actually see the Casey one back, but yeah, I mean, it's a decent victory. Even Mark Casey's out of the promotion now. But I mean, watching the tape, like you said, these guys, it's gonna be a very close fight. I like the way Alvarez strikes, man. Like, his kicks, especially, are going to be such a big weapon in this fight. Brenner is a dog. Like, we both know that. He's going to fight for your money every single time. But Alvarez is long. He knows it. Like, he knows how to use his range. I don't know, man. I don't know. This one's probably the toughest one on the card for me to call personally. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Brenner. Yeah, he looked really shit in his last fight. But I think he had a bad weight cut. I really do. And he was also fighting Oral by a guy that we're both really, really high on. Before that, this guy looked incredible. Beautiful knockout against Kainan Khrushchevsky. Beautiful
Kudalatse as well.
Kudalatse. Looked great against Kudalatse. Had that fight against Tutkov. I remember we were watching that fight and we were like, "There's no way Brenner just won this fight." Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a big Brenner. I just think he's a dog and he'll fight for your money. And in a close fight, give me that guy. What's your final prediction?
I'm going to agree with you again, man. I think another underdog. I'm surprised, but man, this card is good. I like this card. The more we're breaking it down, looking at it, a lot of good underdog spots. And I do think Elvis Brenner, man, like he's going to fight. He's going to fight until he can't anymore. He's going to come forward until he can't anymore. He's going to get hit. We know that his defensive awareness, his defensive fundamentals are not the best. He keeps his hands pretty wide when he's entering the pocket. Alvarez is probably a little more fundamentally sound, but the thing about Alvarez is he doesn't really respond the best to getting hit, and he's going to get hit. It's inevitable in this fight. You look at his fights and the wins like Joe Duffy, ass, Yakovalev, whatever, however you say that, out of the sport, whatever. Moises, that's a decent fight, but decent win. But Moises isn't really known for his stand-up, his striking. Like he's going to face a lot of resistance in this fight, especially in those second, third rounds. I think that's when Brenner is going to grow into the fight. And like you said, he's a dog. So I'm gonna take Brenner again, another underdog. I think we can see a lot of upsets on this card. So I like it.
Very, very fair. Let's move on. This is a fight I'm actually kind of looking forward to because at first I didn't really know who I was going to pick, but I do think I have a strong prediction. We got Mackenzie Dern versus Lupi Godinez. At first, I really didn't know who was going to win. Like I was really going back and forth with myself, but like the more I think about it, I think Lupi's going to win. I do think Lupi Godinez will win. Mackenzie Dern kind of is dog shit.
I think I've been saying this for as long as we've been doing this podcast, bro. So preach.
I think she's not good. I think Godinez is more talented, right? Dern's gonna spam those takedowns, but yeah, that Godinez Jandiroba fight was so close. It was very close. Godinez could have won that fight, right? But I remember that was a big underdog call from you. That was big. Don't think I forgot. That was a great call from you.
Yeah.
But Jandiroba is really good. Like she's really good. She showed in that fight against Lemos. She is really good. She's nasty on the ground. And Lupi was able to make it very close. I feel like Dern is just like I believe Dern has. That's hilarious because I think Dern has fought. No, she hasn't fought Jandiroba. I'm mixing her up with Ribas. Apologies. That's besides the point. I just feel like Dern's slightly worse than Jandiroba, and I feel like Lupi's really good. I do feel like Lupi's got a lot of potential. I like a dog shot here on Lupi Godinez. I do. What do you think?
Bro, I'm with you again. Another underdog pick. Like you said, I picked against Lupi, as a favorite with Virna, and I'm picking Lupi here as the underdog. Mackenzie Dern, I've been saying this every single time she fights, bro. Her striking is some of the worst I've ever seen, let alone in the UFC I've ever seen, bro. And it's been this way since she's been in the sport. Everybody tells her the same thing. You're grappling A1, perfect. You don't need to fix anything. Best submission, one of the best submission artists in the sport. Her striking is literally the complete opposite. It's the polar opposite. It's horrible. She can't set up her takedowns well. I think Lupi is a much more composed boxer. She's going to be coming forward with better, more, complete combinations, more powerful combinations. I think she hurts Mackenzie Dern a few times on the feet. And then the wrestling, I think even if Mackenzie Dern is trying to pressure and does get, her into some clinch situations where it's 50-50 and she's on the verge of getting her down, I think Lupi can fight those off. She can get back up. Even if she does get down for a second, I don't think she's going to give up the back easily. That's a position that Mackenzie Dern is always trying to get to, is the back. I do not think Lupi is going to give that up. I think she's just a more fundamentally sound fighter here. And the fact that you're getting her at plus money, I get it after her. I think that's really the only reason is because of the Virna loss. But man, she's better. She's better than Mackenzie Dern, in my opinion. Apart from the jiu-jitsu specifically, she's better. So I agree.
Yeah, the only thing holding me back from placing a massive bet on Lupi is that Dern Hill fight. Like Dern looked incredible for one fight against Angela Hill. Like she looked really good. And then
it's just those weird side kicks and her kicking game is good. I'll give her that. But the punching, the boxing, bro, It's horrible. It's so ugly. She keeps her head right up to be hit, her chin right up in the air. She's swinging like she doesn't even know what she's doing sometimes. I think there was a funny clip of like Dean Thomas saying like, "What, Mackenzie Dern just looks lost right now. Like, what is she even doing?" It's just like that is the case too much of the time for me to feel any confidence in her in this fight, because Lupi is a Mexican. You know, she's got that spirit. She's got that warrior spirit, and she's gonna keep coming forward with those good boxing combinations that are gonna, you know, really harm Mackenzie Dern. So I do see what you mean about that Angie Hill fight, but I think that was a weird performance from Angie too. That was a weird fight in general. I think Lupi's just better, man.
The streets are rocking with Lupi Godinez at plus money. Another one, as you said. Let's move on. Next fight on the card. Third fight on the main card. Apologies, I didn't even announce that. And man, I shouldn't be looking forward to this one, but I really am. It's Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. This line is insane. Like, how is Chiesa minus 700, minus 650? Like, how? But again, it's Tony Ferguson. Now, who do I pick to win this fight?
Yo, I didn't even know. No, that's actually hilarious. I didn't even know he was minus 600. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, it's nuts. Who do I? First of all, let me say that I think the Tony point spread is actually a pretty good bet. But then again, he could get subbed. Dude, I don't know. I really have I have no idea. Like, this shouldn't be a UFC fight at this stage. What do you think, Rohan? I don't know. You go first.
I don't even know what to think. Like, I don't know. How can you pick Tony Ferguson? You can't pick Tony Ferguson. He's looked horrible in his last few fights. What's he on a? Oh my God, is a 6 fight losing streak? 7 fights, Tony, man. It's just like, how does he go? His typology might be the funniest shit of all time. I'm not going. But before that, it's just dub. Like, this dude was on a 12-fight win streak, and the fall from grace. I remember that's when I started getting into the sport. Literally, my first pay-per-view watch, getting back into the sport over COVID was 249, and to see that, that is my Tony Ferguson experience. It sucks, but. Man, Michael Chiesa is horrible, bro. This dude sucks. He looked horrible in his last couple of fights. The Kevin Holland loss, ugly as hell. Sean Brady just got destroyed. Vicente Luque got Darce. How do you get Darce choked back to back? Like, I don't even know what to think about this fight, bro. I have no idea. So, I'm gonna pick Tony Ferguson because fuck it. That's why. Because fuck it. Because I want to see Tony Ferguson go out on top. I think he's just praying for any win so he can just leave the sport on top at this point. I hope he gets it done here. So I'm gonna just pick him with zero, -0 confidence, bro. I don't even know what this fight is.
You know what time it is.
Oh my God. No, bro. I'm not betting on this, man. There is no bets involved, bro. But if you're saying who I want to pick, who I want to see succeed, it's got to be Tony every time. Tony time, baby. You better not be dialing that number, bro. Yo. Oh my God. He's really doing it. He's doing it. He's calling the hotline once again. Bro, this is not a gambling video. We haven't even talked about online.
The Hope Line. If you are seeking assistance for chemical dependency, press 1. If you are seeking assistance for problem gambling, 2. If you are seeking peer support from a certified recovery peer app.
Like, the fact that you talked about that fight for over a minute, like, we're calling.
For English, stay on the line.
Bro, what do you mean? This is a good fight. You literally don't even know what's gonna happen in this fight. This is such a good fight. It's
nah, you're right. Maybe I'm dragging it. Hey, let's just.
You're dragging it, bro.
Okay, Tony.
Pick somebody though. Pick somebody.
I don't know. Tony Ferguson by submission. Why not? Plus 1,000.
Hey, Darce choke too, baby. Fuck that dude. Darce choke 3 in a row.
Yes, dude. I don't know. If you guys bet on this fight, literally, like, window, jump out. I'm kidding, but horrible fight to bet on. Horrible, absolutely horrible. Let's move on. Next fight on the card. This fight. Ooh, this is a great fight. Marlon Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. This line doesn't make sense. I feel like this should be 50-50, the line. Marlon Vera is not a horrible fighter. Like, Davison lost round 1 against Cody Garbrandt. He lost round, are we going to talk about that? He lost round 1 against Cody Garbrandt. he lost. Then comes back and subs him, and Cody Garbrandt went through a whole thing that he said like he had like an out-of-body experience and like in that fight. Chito Vera could definitely win this fight. I mean, this is a bad. If Figueiredo gets takedowns, I saw him training with Khabib. Yeah, he could win this fight, but we know the Figueiredo that will swing bombs and try to knock you out. And one thing Marlon Vera has is an absolutely insane chin, and I have a feeling he wins. I'm going to pick Marlon Vera. I think he eats those power bombs and just puts volume on Figueiredo. Body shots, everything. I think he knows he needs to win. He can't wait this one out. I feel like Marlon Vera knows his back is against the wall here. And I think he wins against Davis and Figueiredo. That's my prediction.
This is tough. This is such a tough fight to call, man. Figueiredo, like you said, on the feet. At bantamweight, he's still adjusting. I think he's faced a lot of different styles. Like Rob Font looked really good, but Rob Font is very one-trick pony. Cody Garbrandt's kind of the same thing, but again, he didn't look all that great in that one. And Vera posed a very different challenge. Like this guy is really, really calculated on the feet. He uses all of his weapons. He'll swing those front kicks out of nowhere. He likes to fight at a distance, but he can also step in close with some elbows, some short uppercuts. Like he can fight at multiple distances. The thing is, the grappling advantage is all on Figgy's side. Like, if he wants to take this fight down, I think he's big enough, strong enough to probably do so. We saw Vera have some trouble against Jose Aldo. He had his back controlled for, like, damn near an entire round in that fight, which I could see a case like that happening here. And when Figgy, takes him down, gets him to his back, and just controls him. Because Vera is not a guy that gets finished and submitted quite often. Like, he's very good submission defense. But Figgy is a real problem on the mat. I don't know. I just think a three-round fight, I think, favors Marlon Vera. I think. I
actually disagree with that.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe not, because I don't know. But like you said, Figgy didn't really look all like that great.
He's known for starting the fight, but yeah, Cheeto's known for starting.
The first round. You're right. The first round, if he drops it, it could be a problem. If it does go all 3 rounds. But I like on the feet, I really favor Chito Vera here. Like I was not impressed with Figgy on the feet. I think he's way too careless for somebody like Chito not to hurt. Like he's gonna hurt him a few times in this fight with some big shots. And Figgy's been rocked. Like we've seen this guy rocked in the past. Like I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to call. It's really tough to call. I'm gonna say split decision. That's my bold take. I'm gonna say split decision. And I'm going to take Marlon Vera. I think they factor in the damage down the stretch. I think we could see a round 1 where Figgy takes him down and doesn't do much with it. And then later in the third, I think Vera starts to look a lot better. So I'm going to take him by split decision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you. Marlon Chito Vera. I'm gonna agree. Marlon by split decision. Why not?
Dude, this must be a record number, at least for me, of underdog picks. This is crazy. Like, but the lines are it's really close.
Yeah,
a lot
they're
of
weird. They're weird. Yeah, they're really weird. Let's move on. Next fight. This is the people's main event, in my opinion. Nurmagomedov versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk's going to win this fight because he's kind of dumb. He's kind of retarded. That's okay because he's fighting a criminal. We got a criminal versus a retard, Rohan. Who's winning?
I mean, I gotta say the criminal, man. I gotta say the criminal, bro.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ. Okay, you're not. I'm going first. Fuck you.
Go first. You got the bold take. Go first.
Guys, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk's gonna win because Shar Bullet sucks. Like, how is Shar Bullet good, Rohan? No, I'm gonna ask you a question. How is he good? Tell me how he's good.
We're not gonna say okay, bro. His striking. I know what you want to say.
Time, dude. We've only been streaming for like 45 minutes. We have time. How is he good?
I know how you're always gonna come back. All the doubters, the Shar doubters, always gonna come back to the wrestling. He has 0 ground game. He gets exposed time after time.
Not even on this with the strike. His striking is so overrated too. In my opinion.
Bro, he's dangerous.
All he has
He's
are
one of the
those
most dangerous guys.
All he has are those shitty kicks, bro. His hands are not that good.
Okay, his kicks are a lot better than his hands, but they're still very, very fast. He's dangerous at all angles. He cuts angles very well. He switches stances sometimes. He's light on his feet. He can harm you. He's definitely dangerous on the feet. There's no denying that. If you're denying that, you're just delusional. Sorry. And Oleksiejczuk, bro, this guy on the feet. I mean, he's decent. He's got some power, but it's all boxing. Like we haven't seen this guy really, face somebody with the kickboxing, the all around, stand up threat.
This
of
is
Shara.
a problem. This is a problem of a matchup for Shara because it's similar to Bruno Silva, except Olajaychik is significantly better than Bruno Silva. He's going to be able to mix in the power with the takedowns. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem for Shara Bullet. I'm not just hating. I really think. I mean, this is a massive step up going from Tricoli off the roids, who was the worst fighter in the UFC, worse than fucking Mike. What's his name? Mike. What was his name? The guy who fought CM Punk. Arguably,
Oh yeah, Mike Jackson though.
I feel like CM Punk could have beaten Tricoli. Is that crazy?
Nah, Tricoli is huge though. I don't know.
Tricoli
The first round of Tricoli, he was beating Shara's ass. So I guess that's the worrying part of things. But dude, he
was not beating his ass. Relax. Tricoli was never beating his ass at any
not
point.
beating his ass, but not beating his ass, but he scared me for a little bit. But I don't know, like in theory, Shara, you know, if we're taking into how big of to account how big of a prospect he was coming into the UFC, like to look at this line and see him only -230 is kind of, you know, shocking because Olajaychik, he hasn't looked good. Like he's getting finished back to back, and like you said, his fight IQ is always costing him.
Come on, you're hating on all. He has not looked bad. That Holland,
he's finished back to back in 2 seconds.
Bro, he dropped Holland. Let's talk about that. Dropped him.
Kevin Holland, bro. Dropping Kevin Holland is not some badge of honor, bro. And I could drop him.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Kevin Holland doesn't really get knocked down.
But he does no, bro. He's literally fights with his hands down sometimes, bro.
Like chin, Kevin Holland.
I don't know, man. Now at this stage, I don't know. Kevin Holland is like some sort of.
Olajaychik just made a dumb mistake, and he didn't even tap. The ref fucked him up. He didn't even break his arm in that fight. There's a reason he's fighting now. He didn't break his arm. Premature stoppage. Fuck that. I'm not counting that fight. Let's move on. What else? Who else? Okay, Pereira fight, that was bad. But I really think that Pereira at 185 is a fucking problem. Again, I'm not mad.
I agree with that.
Then the fight before that, Chidi and Jokuani battled through adversity and got that first round finish. Looked great in that fight. Kyle Barrio, I'm not blaming him, Barrio.
But he's facing adversity against Chidi and Jokuani, bro. Like Chidi is a good striker. Shara, I'd say, is probably more dangerous on the feet than Chidi. In terms of
when he wins, he's fucking putting on a great performance. He lost to Jacoby. Like when he's losing, he's losing.
Bro,
is this guy on the level of a Dustin Jacoby, Barrio, Michelle Pereira, Kevin Holland? I'm not ready to say that. I think this line is fucking obscene. Like, give me plus, what is it, 220 now? What is it? Yeah, now the line's kind of plus 210 right now, Bovada. Give me that all day, every day. I'm eating that. I'm fucking putting bread on that. Olajaychik's winning this fight. He's got the power. He can mix in the wrestling too. This guy's grappling. He can grapple. Offensively, his defensive grappling is horrible. But that's not going to be a problem here. Shara's going to strike.
All right, I'm not mad at it. The more you're talking,
fight, guys.
No, the more you're talking, the less, the more I'm seeing the vision. The more I'm seeing the vision. Shara, the one thing I will say to kind of enhance your point, I guess, is that Shara isn't like the most aggressive guy, and Mikel is probably going to be the one, you know, coming forward with the heavier shots. Like Shara is willing to just sit on the outside, let you come in, and then try to, you know, kick you to keep you away, and then try to, you know, string together a combination after that, after he's already gained the separation. Like Olajaychik's going to try to be in his face for the entire 15 minutes. And he does have power. He does have real power that he hasn't been able to really display in his last couple of fights because they're ending in 2 seconds. So, I mean, hopefully he learns from that. And I think, you know, like you said, there is a few passes for him to get the job done. But the UFC, they're trying to build this guy, man. I think this is like to take his O. I think it's going to take somebody a little more talented, a little more with a little better fight IQ than Mikel Olajaychik, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
That's the only problem. His fight IQ.
I see exactly. Like you could see him hurting Shara and then like just rushing into the pocket or some shit, and then Shara just catches him with a head kick or something. And I don't know. Both of these guys, they have a lot of question marks. I'll take the safer pick, I guess, in Shara, but like you said, there's a lot of holes in this game, and I'm not mad at your pick whatsoever. So.
I'm curious what Mikel by sub is. I can see a submission here. Plus 2,000. Has he ever got a sub? I need to know. He's got
he
one.
Has one. Yeah, he's lost 6 by. What if Shara gets a sub?
Joke against Lucas Borowski. Against me.
God.
Plus 2,000. Give me that all day, every day. I love that. He's going to sub him. Michelle by sub.
Nothing to add.
Gonna feed families across planet Earth. Let's move on. How about that? Let's move on to the main event. This is such a good fight. This is such a good fight. And we've been speeding through this, by the way.
I know.
I do have to go to bed fairly soon, so that's kind of why. But if you want, you let me know. I know we were going to say only pay-per-views only for the parlay stream, but we just hit one last week. I feel like we got to do it again.
We did. I mean, I'm down. I just feel like the odds might be a little slimmer this time with such volatile situations. I mean, look at the lines. I think every fight is
underdogs. We got underdogs to bet.
A lot of underdogs, yeah. So yeah, we can make a lot of parlays with those underdogs. So yeah, separate them a little bit, mix and match. So yeah, I'm down for sure. But man, do you have like a strong pick for this fight? I mean, I know you can't be really too confident on either side, can you? Like,
of course you can. Of course you can.
So who are you on?
Umar Nurmagomedov. He submits him. Corey gives his back so much in transitions. I feel like this is going to play out like the Sterling fight, except he just gets submitted later. I'll say round 2 or round 3 submission for Umar. Yeah, I mean, you look at that Rob Font fight, for an example. I mean, Corey, just in these scrambles, just gives his back. And as soon as it hits the mat, Corey Sandhagen, he's going to be looking for these subs like he did against Dillashaw. And if you can't get him against Dillashaw, he's not submitting fucking Umar Nurmagomedov.
I don't think he will, though. I don't think he'll be looking to sub Umar. That's not smart.
That's what he does. That's his instinct. He always goes for like
no.
And shit.
I mean, he does. But I think Corey's one of those guys, like, he's kind of up and down. He does do some dumb things sometimes. Like, he does have a tendency to try to go for some dumb positions, some dumb submissions. He throws a lot of jump knees, which I don't really like in situations that don't really make sense. But I think he's gonna, feel a lot of pressure in this fight to hold his position in the rankings. Like, this is obviously a big challenge against an undefeated fighter. I do think that he's the safer pick, Umar, just because of his well-rounded ability. But I think this fight is going to play out on the feet because Umar doesn't always look to grapple. Like, he does like to rear naked choke. That's his go-to submission. But it's not like he's pressing the action, always looking to get in your face, force, clinch positions, take the fight to the ground. I think Corey can do a good enough job, I think, at least through the first 2.5, 3 rounds of keeping this fight standing at a comfortable distance to where it's pretty competitive. And those rounds are close because I think both of these guys on the feet are pose real threats. Like Umar, he's got, he's really solid in his stance. He doesn't really sway too much. He doesn't waste movements. He doesn't take a lot of risks, but he throws with real heat, man. And those legs, the kicks of his are very fast. But Corey, at the same time, the way he cuts angles, his movement, his footwork, I mean, he is very dangerous. And I think, at plus 200, there is some value. I could see him winning a decision. He is very skilled in his own right. So I do not know. But yeah, like you said, the back takes, he does give his back up really easily. Even in the Dillashaw fights and the Jan fight, I think Jan got to his back for a little second there as well. I don't know, man. I love Corey Sandhagen. I think that's what's making this a little tougher for me. I think that's a little bias coming in. I really love Corey Sandhagen. But this is tough.
Yeah. I think Umar's going to be the bantamweight champion within the next year or two.
These Magomedovs, man, they're just taking over.
I just don't see who beats Umar at bantamweight. I don't. I think he beats Merab. I think it's a very easy fight for Umar. Just considering, like, how does Umar's a better striker, and you're not gonna, pace grapple a guy like Umar Nurmagomedov who's so elite on the mat. It's not gonna happen. He really showed in his last fight how fucking good he is. He got rocked in one, came back, and you just look at this guy on the mat. Yeah, he didn't get a finish, but he showed he can go all 15, not slow down at all, and was just elite the entire time outside of getting hurt early. But yeah, I feel like he beats Merab, easy win. I feel like he beats O'Malley too. I mean, I just feel the striking. He's got tremendous strike. Just look at that Raoni Barcelos fight.
That's the thing. It's like those Dagestanis.
Dude,
yeah,
it's
go ahead.
Almost like, here's the thing about Khabib, right? His striking style actually kind of worked. Because his like spastic style and whatnot. You saw in the McGregor fight, it kind of worked. Umar not only does he have better striking, it's very similar style to compete, right? Very similar style. It's kind of like that frantic striking, but he's got a lot of power, and he's just more talented on the feet as well. I mean,
yeah, more accurate, more accurate, more diverse. Yeah,
I think this guy's gonna.
I would say he's closer to Islam than Khabib in terms of the striking, to be honest.
Style wise, though, I wouldn't say he's as good as a boxer as Islam. Islam's very good with his boxing. You saw in that Poirier fight, he actually, I believe he outboxed Poirier. I don't think it's like that. I think he's more frantic. Like you saw with that Barcelos knockout, you didn't even see that left hook.
No, but that left hook, but it came as Barcelos, like he stepped in with that little. He was taking his time. He was taking his time, and then he set it up with the little fake jump knee, step in with the left hook, followed up with the two. Like he is so calculated. That was all thought out before he did that shit. It's not like Khabib where he's just running in with his head down and just running, try to get the fight to the ground. That's the thing with these Dagestanis that have the wrestling as like a weapon that they keep in their back pocket. It's just it makes it just that much more dangerous because their striking is damn near as good. So I think, yeah, man, the more we're talking about this fight, these guys are special. I don't know what they're feeding these guys.
Yeah,
what's going on over there in Dagestan?
I honestly think Umar is going to be the greatest bantamweight of all time. I do, because I think he can surpass Aljo, who's I think he can
Aljo. Yo, Aljo's really the GOAT. That's crazy.
he's gonna get a title shot after this. I think he beats O'Malley. I think he beats Sandhagen. I think he beats Jan at this stage of his career. I think he beats Vera, beats Cejudo, beats Figueiredo, beats Yadong, beats Font. I feel like he beats everybody right now. I mean, call me crazy, but I really think
I'm not gonna call you crazy, man. I think I wrote it in the breakdown. By the way, I don't know if I posted those yet in the Discord. I will right now if I didn't. This guy, like, I think I wrote it, like he's got the talent alone to rule over this division, which is crazy because it's been historically, last 5-10 years, the toughest division in the UFC. But this guy is that freaking good. So yeah, I mean, the more we're talking about it, I love you, Corey Sandhagen. I could definitely see him winning a close fight. But I do think Umar, the finishing potential is probably more on his side for sure. And yeah, this guy is just a real fucking problem, man. He is.
Apologies, I'm trying to live bet Ben Shelton right now.
Yo, wait, what is going on? He's not. What is he playing?
Dude, I wanted to go to DC to watch the DC Open. He's playing the
DC Open. Gotcha.
Let me see what the odds are. Oh, he's minus 604 right now. Yeah, fuck that.
I only been keeping up with the Olympic tennis. The Olympics been real fun.
How do you watch the matches? How do you watch?
Like
them?
Where I am?
No, like
I
watch them anywhere.
Oh, I mean, usually the Olympic channel, like where I'm in Hong Kong, so like they have only like 2-3 Olympic channels, but they kind of just flip, throughout the day.
I want to watch the matches. Like I couldn't watch Alcaraz and Nadal doubles. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I saw a replay of it. I was pissed about that because that shit is that's so cool. That's like my favorite tennis player currently, and my favorite tennis player from the past, and they're both Spanish, bro, and they're both dogs, bro. Oh my god, that shit is so cool. Olympics been hitting for real. And the basketball too, all these NBA Twitter is like the funniest place. All these guys hating on Steve Kerr for making, trying to win. And they're winning like every game to it, and they're still hating.
They should be blowing these teams out by 60 though, for being real.
I didn't watch. It was like 3 a.m. when they played. Was the Sudan game bad or what?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
You were doubting them. I was telling you, bro.
It's still early, I think. No, I think Canada, they haven't faced them. They haven't faced
Germany, Canada. No.
No, I don't think they're going to lose either. I know. This is LeBron, KD, Steph. I mean, they're not going to lose, bro. That would be shocking.
Very true. So, yeah, we wrapped up our predictions. A lot of underdogs, a lot of confident picks, a lot of not confident picks, I guess. I don't know. I think it's going to be a really fun card. As I mentioned, I'd love to do this parlay stream either on Thursday or Friday. If you're free, if the times coordinate, I know you're in Hong Kong, but we will figure that out.
Yeah.
We got my boy Avinash saying Corey by KO sub. Round 1 KO or round 3 sub for Cheetah, or he means Corey. It's an interesting array of methods.
Round
1 KO or round 3 sub. Bro's got he's got a plan out in his head.
Sprinkles.
You gotta tail, but I bet Umar, but I'm gonna do sprinkles on Corey.
Exactly.
Yeah, in round 3 sub. But yeah, this was fun, very fun. Really looking forward to this card. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I'm on my bed. I was not going downstairs to record this because it is 1:30 in the morning at the moment. But any final words for our viewers, Rohan?
Nah, I mean, look, this is a great freaking card. You just laid it out. I'm very excited. A lot of fun, intriguing matchups. And also, interesting enough, there's 3 Russians with undefeated records on the line. And I think we have a bet against what? You got a bet against all or 2 of the 3. I think the only one is Dudakova that you didn't. But hey, a lot of undefeated records on the line, a lot of upset potential. So I am definitely excited. And let's enjoy.
50% off our
MMA betting group. We have bets for PFL, which is on Friday as well, and UFC. All you have to do to get it at 50% off, that's dropping it from 70 to 35. All you got to do is, or 60 to 30, one of the two, apologies. All you have to do is DM us Abu Dhabi on Instagram, and you'll be sent a new link, 50% off. Thank you so much, everybody. Everybody have a great night, Rohan. Enjoy your little vacay. Peace out,
Yes, sir,
everybody.
my boy.
Deuces.
Peace.